Best accountability tool to supersize you. Welcome to day 80 of this year's annual challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. And today we're talking about, and all this month, financial topics, things about our money, our finances, etc. Today's topic is one that is pretty new to me. About 6 months ago, I joined a community on the school platform that we have accountability buddies that hold us accountable. We share intentions every morning and then check in with that person, and they check in with us, and then they do the same thing maybe during the day, depends on the partner or the buddy. Mine and I are pretty independent. This is actually the first time I've ever had a specific accountability partner or buddy really in anything. I pretty much had to figure stuff out on my own, which is part of why I was attracted to the school platform anyway. It was because it's all about communities and like-minded people coming together in different situations based on their interests to enhance their life, which is what my annual challenges are all about, right? Supersize you, do one thing every day to be a better version of yourself. It's all about personal development and growth. I firmly believe that being a lifelong learner, like they say, readers are leaders, and I found that to be very true in my life. So having the number one tool is having an accountability partner or an accountability buddy, whatever you want to call it. Different people call it different things, but it has become a very important force in my life, and it applies to every different area and aspect of our life. If you want to improve your relationships, have a relationship accountability buddy. If you want to improve your finances, have a financial accountability partner or buddy. I say most people in our world would say partner instead of buddy because it's a more serious type situation. So today, why would you want an accountability partner? Why would you want to, number one, share your financial secrets with another person? And what would be in it for you to do that? Well, number one, when we speak something, it helps to create it. So if we share our wins, if we share our challenges, if we have, it's just having a sounding board, somebody to bounce ideas off of to see if what you're thinking is on track of a direction you should take, helps in decision making. Or if it is something maybe they've tried and had experience with, and so they know some tricks and some secrets for actually implementing the thing that it is that you say you want to do. Maybe you say you want to, spam people's DMs, and they're like, "Hey, don't do that. I tried that. I got banned from XYZ." So how do we go about finding an accountability partner, an accountability buddy? I am on, this is probably embarrassing to admit, but I think I'm on my third accountability buddy in that community, because some people come into a community and then they leave. Some people come into a community and we find out, hey, this was great for this particular goal and objective. We both achieved this, but you live halfway around the world, and maybe we should find somebody that it's easier to communicate with and connect with, actually connect with. So how do you go about finding an accountability buddy? I say, if you can find one on your own by asking yourself some questions. Who would I trust to share this area and aspect of my life with? Because an accountability is just like any other partnership. We want to make sure that we have a goals and values match, that we can actually 100% trust that person, especially with confidential information or with our feelings, which usually should be confidential information, and our experiences, unless we give them express permission to share. But we want to be able to find an accountability partner, somebody that we choose to share this with, maybe on a monthly basis. What would your life be like? What would your finances be like if you knew somebody whose overall intention is always to help you to be better financially? How would that make you make different decisions, make choices that are in your best interest financially, do the things you say you're going to do and follow through? I know for almost everyone, it would benefit them. I do not have a financial specific accountability buddy, but the one in the group I'm in is a lot about finance. I want to say all about finances, but it totally isn't. It's about spirituality and fixing the things that we think are wrong with it that are really not wrong with us at all. But then I recommend at least monthly checking in with one another. Why? because that makes you at least look at your numbers once a month. We check in daily in this particular community, but I say, depending on what's going on in your life, daily isn't really realistic for most people. It's like I create daily content and everybody thinks I'm stark raving mad, but part of why I do it is for me, because it makes me feel better. It makes me feel like I'm moving forward and contributing and being productive, no matter how crazy and chaotic and the rest of the day goes. I feel like I've done something positive to move my life and other people's lives forward. Join a financial community. I highly recommend that, especially if you are a solopreneur or an independent contractor, or if you're working from home, we do not get them. Think about the pandemic. It was great because a lot of people and a lot of us were stuck at home and could do things, but it also separated us and made us weary and more frightened, in my personal experience, with interacting with other people. And I think part of that was intentional, but it doesn't matter. It's up to us to choose how we take every experience and every situation that happens to us and use it to learn and use it in our favor. So ask yourself a couple of questions today as you're thinking about finding an accountability partner. And I can say this because I think probably the most people on the planet do not have one. Maybe it's your spouse or your significant other, but maybe not. Sometimes, and I found that when I was married, opposites attract. And as far as financial things go, we had opposite philosophies and opposite values with respect to how money was earned, handled, distributed, etc. So maybe your spouse is the right person, maybe they're not. Only you know the answer to that. But commit to yourself that even if you have to have an imaginary friend, accountability buddy, or accountability partner initially, hold yourself accountable to have your alter ego hold you accountable to looking at your numbers every month, to looking at the areas of financial health and well-being that you want to shore up or change based on what your long-term goals and objectives are, as well as your short-term goals and objectives. We should have financial goals of different lengths and different sizes, just like we should have goals in every area and aspect of our life. That is important to us. If you want to have great relationships, you have relationship goals. If you want to have great health, you have health goals or standards that you hold yourself to that you will not give in on, just like your core values. So today, what are we going to do? We are going to comment below whether we do or do not have an accountability partner for the financial area and aspect of our life. And if you don't and you want one, ask in the comments below and see if we can't coordinate the process of finding one. It's kind of like, to me, the reason I don't have one is because I have a great CPA, but it took me a lot of interviews and a lot of search to pick this firm. I will say, if you're a business owner, chances are you pick a CPA or an accounting firm and you stick with them for years. Why? Because they got all your stuff. They got all your information. They know everything about your business. And so it's not the kind of thing you want to move around very often. That is in my humble opinion and experience, of course. But I think financials might be as, not taboo, I don't know what the word is, as anxiety creating or stressful as any other area of our life and the life framework, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, communication, and confidence. And I think that, the emotional, the spiritual, financial, those are all areas that are so tied to our core values and our beliefs and our thoughts and beliefs about the area, that it's critical that we find the right person and we don't overshare or share information that's confidential with somebody that betrays our trust. I don't know about you, but I've had people betray my trust and I didn't like the way it felt. Very, very devastating. So we want to be really cautious with this, but we also want to make sure that we do it. And even if you don't find a partner, join an online community or some kind of a community where you can see what other people are doing to hold themselves accountable for their financial health and well-being and for their numbers. I could probably talk about this for like another hour, but I shall not. If I can help you in any way with this, you need help finding an accountability partner, let me know. If you think this is a cockamamie idea, let me know that too. But I will tell you, the one that I have has really been helping me hold myself accountable. And I think I'm pretty consistent and pretty good about holding myself accountable. But it's really nice to have another set of eyes or somebody to bounce ideas off of in different areas and aspects of our life, in different areas that we want to improve in. All right, have an awesome day. If I can help you, ask. Otherwise, I will, of course, see you tomorrow. Bye.